So I used to suck so much at videography and real estate videography until I learned these 4 skills that took me from having the most horrific content out there to being more pro, where the footage just looked pro and it looked like you could actually feel confident in charging good money for those videos. So this is what this video is about, is to have me share these 4 things that I believe took my game from absolute tog water to professional. So let's get into it. Okay, so the thing to kick it all off is smooth gimbal shots. My footage used to be so shaky. In fact, I even had people commenting in my clients' videos saying that they were feeling motion sick from my videos. I wasn't able to find those videos, so I can't show you, which is annoying. But trust me, mine were bad. There is just nothing worse than shaky footage. So to fix it, make sure, especially if you're getting into real estate, make sure you actually have a gimbal in the first place. When you've got the gimbal, make sure that it is balanced perfectly. Don't rely on the motors to stabilize the camera itself. When you're setting it up and balancing the pan, the tilt, and the roll functions of the gimbal, make sure that when the motors are off, that the camera can still sit there perfectly still, because that just gives the gimbal even more bandwidth to work with, as opposed to if it's slightly imbalanced before the gimbal is even turned on, it's having to work that much harder to just keep the camera level. And also turn off any aggressive level of internal stabilization in the camera. A little bit's fine, like the standard or the low functions are fine depending on what camera you have. I, with the R5C, just have it on standard, but there is the active mode. Don't use that. The camera gets confused with the gimbal's movement, and then it makes it still look just as shit. So with the gimbal purchase and all the settings done, I literally just had to learn how to walk with the gimbal. And it is quite simple once you know how, but it does feel a little bit geeky, but it really is simple. Hold the gimbal close to your body, bending your knees a little bit and really squeezing the butt. Small footsteps and nice smooth foot strokes. So that way when you bundle it all together, there's less vibration coming from the feet, coming up and actually affecting the gimbal. That way you're giving the gimbal the best chances of success to give you a smooth shot without any jitters. Once I learned how to do the gimbal walk, my shots went from shaky to pro looking in really only a couple weeks. So the second thing that took my footage from dog water to pro looking is obvious composition. Bad composition equals low pay. Now, I can speak from experience. Having bad composition confuses the audience. It just looks amateur and it's just not that satisfying. So here is what I did to improve composition. I adjusted the shooting height to suit each room. I was told back when I started that you should shoot at shoulder height to mimic how someone would naturally walk through a house tour. The caveat to that is that I'm not that short. I'm 6 foot. When the camera's up at my shoulder, sometimes you can't even see what's on the floor because I'm so high. It made the shot feel disconnected and just not that satisfying. So for me, when I actually applied this principle of just adjusting the height to the height of the room or the area that you're in, it made the shots so much nicer to look at. It felt like the shots matched the room. And really the other thing that I learned about composition was just simplicity is king. For the wide shots, stick with straight pushes, side pushes, and angle pushes. For the tight shots or detail shots, fill the frame with the one thing you're trying to focus on. Every shot you take, both wide and detail, it needs to have a clear focal point with no distraction. There are obviously other levels to composition where your videography can get more complex and more sophisticated, but if you are just a beginner, don't overcomplicate it. I still use everything that I've just said, just straight pushes, side pushes, and angle pushes. They are almost some of my most favorite shots that I could use in a video because that feels very sophisticated where it really isn't that hard to pull one of those shots off. And so that does really flow well into the third point, which is overshooting. I used to think that I had to shoot every single thing in every single way in every single space, whether it be outside or inside. And fuck, that was just a monstrosity of a waste of time. You just don't need to do that. And then when I realized that I didn't need to do that, and when I did actually build a system out, I was able to save so much time on the shoots. And that in turn sped up my editing time because I had less clips to work with. So to prevent overshooting, you just need to plan ahead and have a general idea of how you edit your videos. For me, my principle is for each space, I'll take 1 or 2 wide shots to show the whole space. I'll then take 2 or 3 detail shots of the most interesting points of that space. And then I'll also add a transitional shot between spaces to help the video flow well. That's really 4, 5, even 6 clips max that you're taking in each space. And you're not missing anything. Like you actually have everything you need to make a really good video. So when I actually applied this shot list to each space, my shooting time at each house went from like 3 hours plus to sometimes even as fast as under an hour. So quite clearly that puts me in a position where I can make a whole lot more money because I'm doing less work for the same pay. And so for the fourth reason of why my videos used to suck, it's not necessarily a videography skill, but it is part of the whole process. It is music or music choice. Music literally makes or breaks a video. You can have all the things that we've just mentioned and even some of the more advanced stuff, and it is not going to make up for bad song choice. It's 2025, like those corporate-y style real estate songs that have no substance and they just feel tinny. They don't have a place in 2025 anymore. They just don't. Find songs that are actually just more substantial and give you an emotion when you're playing it back, picking a song. I would highly recommend that you subscribe to more premium royalty-free music platforms. I personally use MusicBed. The music quality was just so much better. The way that you can find songs and find similar songs just works so well that I often get really good songs and only spend 1 or 2 minutes trying to find them. Now, if you are someone that struggles to find the right music, there is a system that I use that dramatically helps the probability that you're gonna pick good songs without spending like 3 hours trying to find it. So what I do now to find good songs without spending hours trying to find the songs, I rip up Instagram, I rip up YouTube, I find videos that other creators have posted in the real estate niche that has a similar house to the house I'm trying to film. I'll just Shazam the song on my iPhone or the Mac to find the song that they've used. Once I have the song, I go into MusicBed and I just search the song to see if the song happens to be in MusicBed already, because sometimes it actually is, and then that's even better. But if it's not, I just use the search by AI tool, plug in the song name, click the song, and then it will provide me a whole list of similar songs to it. And that's literally all I do. Then I just scroll through the list and I find a song that's similar, that has the same vibe, and then I just use that song. With this simple strategy, you can literally be tone deaf and still be able to find good music because you're taking inspiration from a creator online that has a cool video and you're using the power of modern technology to get similar songs so that you know you're in the right ballpark at least. So that's it. Gimbal shots, composition, don't overshoot, and pick the right music. They are the 4 things that took my videos from just shit and sucky to really good, really pro, and at a level where I felt confident and comfortable charging more for the work that I was doing. If you're in the same boat that I was just a few years ago, I strongly recommend watching this video a couple of times and just applying all of these 4 things in your next videos, and I guarantee that you will see an improvement in your own work really, really quickly. I hope that this video was useful and valuable to you guys. If you have any questions or you have a particular topic that you want me to talk about, just let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching and see you soon.